Hello, everyone, and I would like to welcome you all to our Rock It Out for Kindergarten program today. We are going to rock it out, and we have some rock stars on the call. We have amazing teachers. It is National.
Uh-oh, you muted.
Hello. Did I just get muted, or do I need to start over? Okay, thank you. I think I was just saying that it's National Teacher Appreciation Week, and we have those rock stars on the call with us from Kinder. We know we have veteran parents on the call that this is their second or third or fourth kindergartner, and we also have new parents on the call that this is your first child entering kindergarten, and we promise to take great care of you. But we do welcome you all. We do have our teachers on the call from Kinder. We have our teacher helpers that we call paraprofessionals on the call as well. We have Dr. Sinclair, who is our assistant principal. We have Brian Barron, who is our school business manager. And I am the principal, Audrey Sofianis, here to welcome you all. And we're just thrilled to have you join us. We know since March of 2020, it has been quite a time. But I'm here to reassure you that we are entering a new phase of this pandemic, hopefully shifting more towards the end of it. We have an amazing mitigation strategy going right now for our in-person students, and we're looking forward to a 5-day-a-week in-person schedule for next year. And so that's what we're building our entire program on for Kinder, and our teachers are going to tell you more about it. So thank you for all being here, and I'll be on the call the whole time, and I know there's some Q&A at the end.
All right, so we're going to transition to a welcome from one of our co-presidents from PTA, Susan Mapen.
You are on.
I'm on. Okay. Hi, welcome. I'm Susan Mapen, and I am the current PTA co-president, and I'm going to serve the same role next year with Tony Moore, who may also be on this call. And we just wanted to welcome you all to the school and tell you a little bit about what we do as a PTA. We have a really active PTA at our school. PTA and the foundation and the administration all work really well together to really benefit our school. We run a lot of events that you may have heard of over the years, like our Halloween Carnival, Family Science Night, Book Fair, those sorts of things. And then we also are involved in things like Teacher Appreciation Week, and we, I guess, are responsible for all the room parents for every classroom and organize social events and lots of fun stuff. So there's always something going on and plenty of ways to get involved. And I hope that you all will look out for some of those sign up opportunities and join us. We also are responsible for a lot of the communications that you'll receive throughout the year. At some point over the summer, you'll get an email where you can go into our database, which is called Membership Toolkit, and register your account and your student, and then you'll start receiving our weekly digital Dolphin communication, which is an email you'll get weekly. And then we also run the Dolphin Community Facebook page, which you won't be able to join until you're in Membership Toolkit, but hopefully you've all found the Rising Kindergarten Facebook page. And if you haven't found that yet, do go on. If you go into Facebook and just search for, I think it's called Rising Kindergarten 2021-2022, something along those lines, you'll be able to find that and make sure to join there for more information. But welcome, and I think that's all I have, unless anyone has any questions.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I guess I will take over from here. My name is Laura Lowe. I'm the team lead for kindergarten. And so we have this in here that just kind of gives you our cute little Bitmoji team of teachers that help create our kindergarten learning experience at Morningside Elementary. And so over here we have myself, Ms. Lowe, we have Ms. Huff, Mrs. Staggs, Mrs. Baxter Holmes, Ms. Mabo, Miss Snap, and Miss Georges. And so that is our illustrious team. And we also have a fabulous team of paraprofessionals that don't fit on the screen. So we have, but they are very much a part of everything we do. So what we're going to kind of be sharing with you today is what you can do as a parent to get your child prepared to start in the fall. What kind of things to expect when they arrive here, first day of school, first week of school. What kind of adjustments and separations may occur as they start their first year in big kid school. And then some of the things that we work on in kindergarten and the development of independence. And then we'll kind of conclude with talking about the Rising Kindergarten Camp that is coming up during the summer, and then follow up with any questions that we might be able to answer for you. Okay, so I'll kind of kick us off, and then some of my other teammates will take over. And so we kind of organize this into 10 tips that will help you get prepared for the fall. And so I'm going to start off with number one, read. That's one of the biggest tools we can give you is read to your child daily. Read books in the days and weeks leading up to the first day of school that can help them feel more confident, excited about the big day, of their first big day. And so there are so many resources and books out there that kind of talk about the beginning of school, kindergarten, their first day of school. And so a lot of these books can just kind of help get them excited and mentally prepared for their new journey. Next one is creating routines. And so this becomes a very big part of coming to school every day, is that solid routine of getting up, having breakfast, getting all your things together. And so, you know, maybe starting a little ahead of time and getting a consistent bedtime and a morning routine established so that the transition once they start school goes a little smoother. And it's also a great idea to kind of have a goodbye routine before the year starts so that, you know, your child will know exactly how many little hugs that they're going to get when they say goodbye to you as you drop them off for school. And so that just kind of is, you know, setting up those expectations for them goes a long ways in helping that first week of school go smoother. And then meet and greet. You know, we'll have opportunities for you to come and meet your teacher and kind of take a very laid back look around the classroom and around the school and to get comfortable with their learning environment before they show up on that first day. All right, and so I'm going to pass it off now to Mrs. Amavo.
Hello, everybody. I'm Miss Amavo. I'm one of the kindergarten teachers here at Morningside, and I'm going to go over some tips for getting prepared for the first day of school. So one of the things that we recommend you do is to help work out some of their fears. You can act out successful and loving separations and reunions with toys, maybe playing with a dollhouse or with even with those boys play with those action figures. You can even do some role playing with those, reverse roles, and have your child be in charge and leave you at home or school. Use humorous ways to make it fun. You can also play hide and seek and give your child safe separation practice and the experience of being found over and over, no matter what. Example, I will always come find you 1,000,000 times, no matter what, you know, what pirate stops me or whatever, you know. So those are some fun ways you can help your child get over their fears of starting out. You can always, you can also set up a drop off and pick up expectations. You might, if it's really hard for you, because some parents, as hard as it is for kindergartners, it's also very difficult for the parent as well. So as a parent, the first thing to do is to check in with yourself. Are there feelings of apprehension and dread about leaving your little ones at school, distance, meltdowns, or do you have guilt or ambivalence about whether your child will be okay? And it's natural to have these mixed emotions about this very big step. So gently acknowledging and taking care of your own feelings will help you find that calm, confident parent inside of yourself that your child is going to need during this transition. So we are also talked about reading a lot. So as Laura Lowe mentioned, going to the library and finding some children's books on helping with separations will work. We also want your child to get good rest the night before school. So you don't want to start off the day before school. So still in the summer and maybe the weeks leading before the first day of school, you might want to try to start turning back bedtime by 15-minute increments. So instead of going to bed at 9 p.m., first night, go to bed at 8:45, and the following night at 8:30, and next night 8:15, etc. This may be hard due to the late sunset that we get in the summer, but one way to ensure an earlier bedtime is to wake the child in the morning at the usual time for school. So start the day at 7 a.m. and let those little guys sleep and get usual maybe 10 to 12 hours of sleep at night. That would help. Another good suggestion is going on adventures around the school and maybe visiting the playground at the school, or even the playground across the street from the school, and walking around and just look around the school and maybe and talk about the different things that you see just in that area, so the child gets more so your child can get more comfortable with the school. Talk about what your child will be able to see from the classroom windows, maybe give the trees or other landmarks secret and silly names. Those are just some fun ways to go on an adventure around the school. So we'll take a look at the next slide. All right. So we talked about preparing the night before. Of course, this is gonna take some work on your part as the parent to try to make sure that if your child is very particular about what they wear, so you wanna try to get them to pick out their clothes the night before. And if they're picky about their food or lunches, you wanna try to get all that taken care of the night before and have lunches packed, so that in the morning everything's ready and we're not rushing and upset about not being able to wear their favorite shorts or not being able to pack their favorite lunches. So we want to do a lot of prep work. And I'm not just speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself as well. And I know how challenging that can be, but it makes a huge difference when we try to get these things, these logistics taken care of the night before. For kids that are, most kids would really love a note from home. So, and that would help with the jitters on the first day if you could pack a little note in their lunchbox, letting them know you love them. You can't wait to see them after school and hear all about their fun adventures. You can, for some kids who have some serious anxieties, maybe giving them a special object from home to keep in their book bag or in their cubbies would really help ease the anxiety. So let's talk about drop off, okay? Drop off can be really frustrating for some. There are some kids who walk in and they're just excited and they want to go in and they're jumping around, wanting to play with everything and talk to every friend, and that's great. But we'll also have some of those kids that are very anxious, and that's all natural at this age to start the first year. So you want to try to arrive early So arriving early gives your child a little bit more quiet time to calm and get settled in. You want to spend a bit of time talking about something fun or interesting you both see in the classroom when you come in. And you may talk about how you can't wait until after school to see what they've done, what stories they may have read. You want to make sure that you're transitioning and handing over your child to their teacher that and feel comfortable about doing that, and allow that teacher to attend to your child. And once your child is being attended to by their teacher, you give them a hug and a kiss, say goodbye with a warm smile, and leave. You want to resist lingering too long around the doorway or sneaking back and seeing how things are going, because it really makes it harder for the child to transition and adjust to their new environment. So we do ask that you have confidence in us. We've been doing this for some of us 30 years. We've had many first days of kindergarten. So we want you to have the confidence in us and your child's teacher to handle their feelings and to take care of them. And most importantly, we want you to believe in your child's ability to cope, because usually they are just fine. Next slide.
All right. Thank you, Patricia. All right. So let's head on over to Mrs. Georges.
All right. Hello, everybody. And I'm just going to apologize. I'm probably going to clear my throat a lot. I choked on my water right as we logged in, so I can't stop clearing my throat and coughing. So I'm going to talk about tips for getting prepared academically, especially this year after, everything that's gone on with COVID. I know that might be, something that's a really big concern for everybody. So some of the tips that we have put together are to practice letter recognition and letter sounds. Starfall is an excellent website that you can use to help with letter sounds, especially even with kids that already know them all. There are different reading games in there too, and that's a free program that you can use online. Practice number recognition. Just the basic, 0 to 10, those would be really good to just kind of go over during the summer. Practice basic shapes like triangles, squares, circle, and rectangles. This is a big one. Practice writing their name, but with a capital letter for the first letter and lowercase for the rest. Many students come in from pre-K where they've been taught to write in all capital letters. And that is a big frustration for kindergarten teachers across the country because that's not how we write our names. So if the children are working on that over the summer, they'll already be ahead of the game and know how to write their name the right way. And practice counting objects. One of the things that we do is, counting not just pictures, but things that they can touch. So you could use things like beans, cereal, anything, and have them, touch the objects and count them. So those are some of the things that we came up with that would just be some good things, in addition to reading to your child, of course, because that is one of the main things we want you to do is to read with your child. Okay. And a proper pencil grasp, especially if your students have been virtual for pre-K, the teachers may not have been able to see if they were holding the pencil properly. So we've put some pictures here of a proper pencil grasp. And if your child does struggle with this, if they hold their pencil like this, like a younger child would, or if they're putting their arm the other way, our occupational therapists recommend this tool, which is called a handy writer, and it goes on their arm like a bracelet, and then a loop goes around the pencil. And then there's a little dolphin or a toy at the end. Sometimes it's a baseball. And what they do is they hold that. And when they're holding that with their fingers, the pencil automatically is positioned properly in their hand. And it can be used for lefties or righties. And that's something that you can find on Amazon very easily. So we just wanted to show you guys that, especially after, possibly having a virtual year where your child might not have been taught the proper way to hold a pencil.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mrs. Snap, it is your turn.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mrs. Snap. I've been at Morningside for quite a bit in kindergarten and love it. I see some parents here who this will be their fourth one. Miss James, I'm looking at you coming through kindergarten here. So what an exciting group of parents I'm excited to see this year. I'm going to be talking to you all about what to expect. During your child's first week of kindergarten, they'll be getting to know their classmates, their friends, getting to know teachers, really getting to know and learning the classroom routines and expectations, and just getting familiar with the school, really learning how to do school, basically. Learning how to respectfully interact and collaborate with fellow classmates, and learning how to manage and organize their supplies. I want to go back to a few things that we were talking about before and be very clear. It is not our expectation that children come to kindergarten reading. That is, if your child is not reading, they are not behind, they don't need serious intervention. We're literally just asking that they have familiarity with the letters. And even if it's not all the letters in the alphabet, the letters in their name. That's where they should be as they come to kindergarten. Because the first part of kindergarten is just really learning how to interact in big kid school. I will also add to something Miss Amavo said. In kindergarten here at Morningside, and most kindergartners, we no longer have naps. So if your children are used to taking naps at noon or 12:30, just like you're rolling back that bedtime, it might be a good idea to push nap time back. So if your child is taking naps at 1 o'clock, you may want to move it to 1:30, then for a while 2 o'clock, so that their body starts used to taking that break time at what would be the end of our school day. Mr. Barron, I think, touched on it just a moment, but we do know that our school day will be extended by 30 minutes this upcoming school year. However, we do not know our calendarized schedule yet. That's something that we do not know. We just know 30 minutes longer. Please, though, understand that the kindergarten teachers plan our schedule as best as we can to work with late 4s, 5, and 6-year-olds. We understand they need wiggle room. We understand they need an appropriate snack that goes somewhere that fits wherever their lunch will be. We understand they need time to get up and move around and just be little people. So our schedule will work with that, but we won't have a actual lay on a mat, close your eyes, cover up with a blankie nap time. We won't do that. We want them to discover that learning can be lots of fun, and we're going to make sure they have all the tools to really enjoy kindergarten. All right, next. During their time in kindergarten, your child will have the chance to gain confidence and independence through various kindergarten learning experiences. And we will teach them school skills needed to become a lifelong learner, like becoming responsible for organizing and managing learning tools, and using technology. That's going to be a big thing this year, not only as we prepare our 21st century learners, but just as we have had now access to a lot of online platforms that are amazing for helping differentiate learning for our children. So while all the teachers are able to teach things, according to our district standards and our state standards, then we have a great allotment of online tools that can really come in and help differentiate what those children are doing. So we want to teach them some independence in learning how to use the iPads or various technology that we have. Pro tip, because I have a kindergartner this year, please understand your kindergartners are usually a little bit more independent with teachers than they are at home. We think, oh, they can't do that. And I'm foolishly sitting around still doing things for my son. And then he hops on into Miss Lowe's class and he's doing these things like he's an old pro. So sometimes it seems like we're giving them a push, and it is because we are. Because, well, you may have 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 at home. If we have a group of 15, it's very important that we start to see those independent skills. Although we will support them, we will push the independence so that they're ready to do things on their own. And also it builds a sense of pride in our kindergartners when they're able to do things by themselves. They're going to be completing assignments independently and taking responsibility for turning them in, which does not include homework in kindergarten. And Morningside, we do not assign homework outside of our classroom. We will have a project from time to time that you will get a lot of notice about, but everyday homework is not something that we do, although we will give choices for parents if you do need some other options. We want students to develop their own original thoughts and ideas. And we also want them to get comfortable asking for help. After we've pushed the independence and we support you really trying to do things by yourself, if it's something that you really can't get done, we really want to promote those children to say, hey, I tried, but I can't do it. So now I need some help.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, adjustments and separation, Ms. Amabo?
Yes. So we know that this is a huge adjustment, not only for the kids, but for the parents as well. We want you to know that your child is going to be in an environment that will foster their learning and creativity, and we will allow to be structured play or even in centers with small groups, but they will have some time to play as well. But the day is jammed packed with a lot of activities and a lot of learning. They will have specials. And so it's important that you understand that you're not the only one who's nervous. Everything's going to be it's going to be new for the kids, and of course the schedule will also be rigorous. So it's normal for the child to exhibit a lot of emotions on the first day. So some children do face separation anxieties, and which may lead to crying and clinging. Especially for the first weeks of school, sometimes even a month into school, we still have some kids that are still having some trouble. So it's important to know that the teachers are trained to deal with them. And again, eventually your child will adjust and feel comfortable with their new school routine. So we can't say it enough that we recognize that kindergarten is a big adjustment.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of this already.
I know. So overall, I just want everyone to know that the kids are going to have a lot of fun. They're going to love kindergarten. They're going to come home and talk about their friends and their teachers and all the things that they've done. It's an exciting time for your child and for you as well. And they will be very exhausted, especially for the first couple months of school. So again, that bedtime routine is really important, making sure they get plenty of rest, because they will miss that nap time from preschool, and they're going to have an extended day at school. So it's going to make them even more tired. So just understand that and allow them plenty of time for rest.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Amabo. So as you can see, there's a grand overlying theme here, is that, for that first month or so of school, there's just a lot of changes and adjustments that occur. And clearly, it's a lot on you as a parent, it's a lot on the student, it's a lot on the teachers. And it is a time of the year where we definitely build into what we do as teachers to allow them the time to get adjusted, allow them the time to get comfortable in their learning environment before we go hard and heavy into a lot of new concepts, new skills, because first and foremost, they have to feel safe and comfortable in their school environment. And that is our number one job when they walk into our door day one, is that they feel safe, comfortable, and happy. And so if we can get a child to feel safe, comfortable, and happy, we can get them to learn. Okay, so let's head on over. Mrs. Georges.
Hello. So if you haven't heard, we have a Rising Kindergarten Camp, and I plan and run the camp, and it will be taught by other kindergarten teachers, including myself. So the Rising Kindergarten Camp, it's the first 2 weeks of June, and your child can get a sneak peek of what it's like to be MES Dolphin, and they'll get to know MES kindergarten teachers and build friendships. And each week has a different theme. So week 1 is an Under the Sea theme. It is only 4 days a week because Memorial Day is that Monday. Week 2 is an Eric Carle themed week. Excuse me. And the camp runs from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And the first week is $220 because it's only a 4-day week. And the second week is $275. And you can see that you can register there at myafterschoolprogram.com. You have to have registered your child with our school before registering for camp. It won't allow you to do it without that. But we would love to have your child. It's going to be fun. It's not academic. It is social, story times, craft, playing on the playground, snack. They will have lunch that you will send a lunch with them, and they'll be able to eat in the classroom. So it's absolutely fun. And I know that from running it previously, the kids really got a lot out of it. They felt much more comfortable because they'd already been in the building. They had already met some teachers. They recognized friends when they came to school. So it's just such a great opportunity for the kids to get to know not only the school building, but friends and teachers too.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, guys. Well, we have reached the time of our meeting where we're going to open up the opportunity to ask some questions that you might be curious about.
And we do have on the screen, if you have registered and you would like to give us more information about your child so that as we form classes for next year, we have that information. So we again want to make sure you've registered and that this is not registration at all. This is about you giving input, what preschool they attended, if any information that you want us to know about your child, any special needs or things you want to share with us. It's really your chance to give input. Now we will wait to put the classes together till after that kinder camp, because that's also an opportunity for us to get to know your children, and that helps us in the class placement process. But you're welcome to scan this right now. It'll also be on our website, and that comes directly to us, and the teachers will see it also, and it will help us in forming those classes for the next school year. But again, don't forget to register. That's the most important part so that we know for sure that you're coming.
And I just want to add that the registration, the link for registration is linked directly from our homepage website for Morningside. So you'll look at the picture scroller on the front webpage, and you can click on the registration page from there rather.
And I was going to say this, scanning this and giving us information, that's something that's very useful to the teachers too. Once the classes have been made and we see that, if you've given some information about your child, we really do read those and make sure we pay attention to any needs that your child might have with like separation anxiety or, anything like that. So we really encourage everybody to do that.
Absolutely. The more information, the better. It helps, although we are not doing classroom pairings right now, down the line after the kindergarten camp, it helps to make sure that some personalities might go together that could be beneficial, that students are getting the most out of their kindergarten experience as possible, because they can be with teachers that have specific understandings of what they may need or ways they can help. I mean, even the smallest details about your child can be very helpful for us teachers getting to know them.
Okay, are there any parents that have a question?
And if we haven't registered yet, should we scan this, or is there a way to find this after we've registered?
Yes, on the register. So from the homepage of the website, you'll click on a link for registration. It'll take you to a web page that says kindergarten registration, and this is linked on that page as well. It says after you have registered, please fill this out.
I see. And is there a list of things we need to have prepared before we register?
Yes, I'm glad. It's like I prompted you to ask that. Yes, that is also on that. That's like your information page linked from the homepage. So it says click here for a list of documents that you need for registration. And then the next link is the actual online registration link. And then there's a contact on there as well, our school secretary, if you have questions regarding any of that.
So I have a question. I registered and I think I'm waiting for the approval. Do we know when those will be approved?
Do you know what date you registered?
It was early registration. I forget the exact date.
Okay. If you will reach out to our school secretary, her information is on that registration page. She was sending confirmations, but there may be something missing. So if you will just reach out to her, that would be fantastic.
Great, thank you.
Sure. We have a couple of other questions in the chat. Oh, we're going rapid fire here that haven't been answered. So, or maybe they have. All right. So yes, kindergarten is at 774 Virginia. We are in the old Inman location until 2022. All of us together under one roof. Oh, that was answered. Thanks, Ms. Georges. Question about meals provided students. So meals. This was shared a little bit, but the meals will be breakfast and lunch, and we're not sure yet about purchase. They may be covered under the new guidelines that have been extended for the USDA food service for schools. So you'll get information about that for sure.
But we do have a working cafeteria, and even now we prepare breakfast and lunch for students, and we deliver it to them this year, and the students eat in the classroom. So those are some of the mitigation strategies we're using now. And next year, we'll know more, but I think that we will see hopefully the continued decline of cases and a more positive progress for the pandemic ending. And then we'll know, I know there were some questions about can parents come into the building, and we won't know those things until closer. There was another question about if we have, if you're a new family to Morningside and you have a kindergartner in another grade, we won't do another new student session for the springtime, but we will do things in the beginning of school time based on grade level. So, and then we'll wait for, right now there's so many things we don't know. We don't even know our school hours yet. So we're, as information rolls out, we'll make sure it gets onto the Rising Kinder page, and we'll make sure it gets onto the Morningside page as well. And any other means that we have, once you're registered and in the system, it's easier for us to send communications to you. But there's a period of time before it rolls over that sometimes our best way to get things out is via social media and Facebook, because we don't have access to send you things, because there's this time in the summer when it's difficult, but that's where we have this amazing PTA to help. So you want to make sure you do all your pieces to get connected as many ways as you can.
Another piece about eating, we all classes at Morningside from kindergarten through 5th grade do have snack time every day. Snack is relative to when the students' lunch are. So somebody will no doubt have to have lunch at 10:30 in the morning, which is more like a brunch, which means that snack would probably be in the afternoon. So I always encourage, as you guys are looking now and maybe on Amazon trying to see what your lunchbox purchases or bento boxes will look like, kindergarten snacks should be packed separately from their lunch. And that is because we could have lunch on the field, we could have lunch close to the playground, we could have lunch in any area that administration has said is safe for the students to use. And so we don't want them to take their whole lunch box out, and it ends up being a mess. So snack is packed separately, and students also come in every day with an individual water bottle, whether you would like that to be insulated or not. I would just say August and September, extremely hot. I always have had my students take their water bottle outside with them. I always had a basket from well, actually, Miss James bought it. Thank you, Miss James, again. My students take it outside with them, so it is insulated. We do have refill centers that I've seen, correct, Miss Sophiana, that the students are able to use that are safe now, that they can refill with, but you want to send them in with a full water bottle every day. So they should have that and a snack separate from their lunch.
And hopefully, to add to that, one that is leak proof, because we end up with a lot of wet book bags. So if you can locate a water bottle that is leak proof, that is super helpful.
And one more point, water in the water bottle. We had incidents of milk, ooh, and it was bad when they're left or they can't be found. Let it just be a water bottle. And if you are sending in a milk or juice, a juice box or something else that you can check every day, but we automatically assume water is in the water bottle. So if they go on the lost and found or get lost, you probably won't want that back. So let's try to stick to and everything labeled. Everything, water bottles, lunch boxes, snack containers, all labeled.
And Summer and Laura are these two wonderful kindergarten teachers who just spoke, are both moms of young children. So they're speaking from both perspectives, I am sure.
Yes, yes.
There, just looking at the time, it's 12:43. There are a couple of questions regarding transportation that I'm going to address. And I just want to make sure that the others were okay. So there's a question about a supply list. Supply lists will be available on the website later in the summer. That does not happen right now, but they will be available. And so let me just kind of blanket cover some transportation questions. First of all, you do not need to sign up your child for the bus. Well, let me be clear about this. So there is a walk zone for Morningside at Inman, and that you will know if you are in the walk zone. If you are outside of the walk zone, your child will automatically be routed to a bus route for drop off and pick up at the school. Those lists do not get published until about 5 days before the start of school. So I just want to set the expectation that those lists are not published until around that time. The other question was about carpool. So we utilize an app called Pick My Kid. You do not need to do anything this moment, but there will be communication that is sent out. And so drop off and pick up works off of Virginia Avenue on the roundabout in front of the school. And we have some really good directions and a map that's posted on our website as well. And so part of my work after the last day of school is to just update the website a little bit so that, first day of school, kindergarten, you'll be able to find it quickly. I'll have a link that scrolls from the homepage scroller, and it will link to the transportation options. So if you are curious and you want to look right now, go into the reopening plans tab of the website, and you'll see transportation options linked from there. And that answers a bunch of those transportation schedules. A tour for Morningside, how does it work if your child, well, I think it's your child will go to Morningside Aftercare. There will be communication put out as well regarding Morningside Aftercare for their sign up process. Again, that's something that is a little bit unknown right now as to their capacity, but we'll know more as we go through, towards the summer, what those capacities are going to be. So there will be information that is posted on our website under Aftercare, Morningside After School as well. That will be posted on the website. You can find anything on our website by looking at the A to Z index that is kept up pretty regularly, to link you to any of the topics that you want. A playground meet and greet. Will there be a playground meet and greet like all APS schools have had so the children can see the school? I'm not aware of playground meet and greets that have happened. I do know that we are not touring the school at this point. We do have some videos that are posted on the website, again, from the front scroller. We did use that for incoming kindergarten students who came back in person in January, as well as all of the other students. So remember that all students were new to this building this year, which was a very interesting return to school. So you can see some visuals of the school in that video.
I know there was a question. I did put the bus schedules. If you can look at those now and of course kind of find your stop to get a sense of what it's like this year. And I know there was another question about, a lot of other APS schools are doing meet and greets. I don't know of any others that are. Just send me a private message and I'll double check, but I don't know of any that are. We are very, we've created what we call the Morningside bubble. And right now we're not having any visitors into the building, and we're trying to make sure we, that with the current COVID cases, for those of you that are not in school, I know that if there are cases, then we may have to close classrooms. And so our goal is to make it the last days with not having to do that so that our kids can finish. So we're doing everything we can. So, but there may be some social events that are happening, but I'll check with my North Cluster friends. I used to be principal over there to see what they are doing. I haven't heard of any others, and those are the first I've heard of. So I don't think we've done anything over here, but I'll find out from my friends.
There's another
how they're
question.
doing it safely.
I'm sorry.
And what they're doing.
There's another question regarding registration and about the health form. So moving forward, things were a little bit different this past year with registration. There was a window of a grace window regarding the health forms because they couldn't be notarized and doctor's appointments, etc. At this point, the district has gone back to requiring the health form, which is vision, hearing, dental, immunizations, for registration. So that is true regarding applications will be pending until we receive those forms. We do not at this point do conditional registrations. Conditional registrations, meaning that you don't have the health form, it becomes a really huge paperwork nightmare at the school. In order for us to keep up with that of who's in the 30-day window, we just don't. We don't do conditionals for registration. So if you can go ahead and make those appointments and get those screenings done, that would be phenomenal. Okay.
Usually whatever has been done, I'm sorry, Mr. Barry, usually whatever has been covered at your child's 5-year checkup, is what is needed to register for school. So if they've already had their 5-year, they're fine. If their 5 years coming up, that's what's going to be on there. Your pediatrician is also allowed to sign off on dental for your 5-year on that as well. So you don't necessarily have to make another dentist appointment if yours is not coming until later in the year. Your pediatrician can sign off on that particular area of the form to be turned in.
Awesome. I want to throw this out. I want to give a huge thank you to Miss Lowe, Miss Georges, Miss Mabo, Miss Snap. I see Miss Hardrath on here, who is one of our kindergarten paraprofessionals, who is teaching a class right now, kindergarten class. I saw Miss Owens on here. I saw, goodness, am I forgetting anyone?
I'm trying to see.
We have
Miss Caradona. I saw her on here as well. My guidelines for this session today to the kindergarten team was, we are going to provide something, work your magic. And as always, the magic comes and is just sprinkled all over the place. So ladies, thank you so much. You're amazing. I want to come to kindergarten. And the best part of a new school year is walking down the kindergarten hallway, period. It is. So it's amazing.
It's a joyful place to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you all can see that we have a very high level of expertise here with our teachers. They really live, breathe kindergarten. They have definitely give so much help and guidance to parents and families. So your kids are really going to be in great hands. And as we move through, this pandemic, and again, as hopefully things continue to trend positive, we'll be able to share what we're able to do and what kinds of social events we can have and where we can have them and those different pieces. So we will let you know as soon as we can figure that out. I did hear from one of my principal friends, and it says they have been doing some social events on their field. But that's really it. So we'll take a look at, what we're able to do and let you know, because we know that, we want you to feel a part of us. And we know everyone has been so isolated, and, we've had meetings like this now for over a year. So it will be great when we can come into the same space and follow those mitigation strategies and keep us all safe and yet get to meet each other in person. So we'll communicate that when we figure out what that can be and when we can do that. Well, I don't know if are there any other questions?
There was a question about when will we know the new bell schedule? We're just not sure yet.
Yeah, we don't know it yet, so.
Sorry, it's a non-answer for the answer, but
yes.
we have learned this year to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that's a great life skill that, kids have even started to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. And it's not something that you're actually taught in school, right? So that's kind of where we are at this point.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you. We appreciate you joining our session today. And we look forward to receiving your input forms and your registrations, and excited about the next school year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, teachers.
Thank you.
Thank you.